Hello everybody, how you doing? My name is Michael, and we're going to be continuing this little playthrough of Dark Souls 2, and I'm going to try, try to do some of the Covenant of Dark stuff. You'll notice I have switched over to the Great Club, because I'm much more comfortable with that, and it's a much better weapon than the Hide Knight Lance. I can no longer... This is an NFA run, a no fucking around run. Because, yeah, things get real in this Covenant. I want to point out that I really, really dislike the way that they decided to do the Covenant of Dark. Because, first of all, you see, I actually farmed out the lions. They're not here, because it took forever. But anyway, I get 2 Science Halberds this game. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about with this is I'm really annoyed at the way that they designed this Covenant. You'll notice there are another one of the portals here. In order to open it, we need to surrender a human effigy to Grandal. And this is a horrendous, horrendous start to this entire level. Because it forces you to give away a fairly precious item, human effigies, to Grandal every time you want to go in here. And this area is so confusing and so difficult and so weird that it took me dozens of tries when I first came in here in order to do this. Dozens of tries. And it is so dark and it is so easy to fall that, you know, it's prohibitively expensive, especially on your first run, where I used dozens of the things and was getting perilously close to just running out. See, there's a pit right there. But this next area, and I just think that is a horrible, horrible decision to make. That, you know, forcing people to give a human effigy every time you just want to come down and play the level. Now I can typically do it without spending that many effigies because, you know, I'm much more familiar with the area. But when you're first coming in here, Jesus Christ, it is agony, and it is painful to come and do that. There are, you know, all of the enemies in this area are just guys. They're just, you know, humanoid spirits. And there are, I believe, 2 of them here, plus a Prowling Magus. And just the best thing to do is to cheese them with arrows. Don't even... You know, this area is as unfair as you possibly can get. So you should be unfair right back. Bring poison arrows, bring regular arrows, do what you have to do in order to win. Whatever you want. Victory is what matters here, not sportsmanship. And these guys are actually fairly easy compared to some of the other guys. Ooh, staggered them. Compared to some of the other guys in other areas. And they can flask, which is a huge issue. At the very least, if you're going to do this, just make them not flask. And you have to beat them every single time you come in here. Every single time. These guys, as far as I'm aware, do not despawn. The one area in the entire game where it would have been useful to have them despawn, this area, yeah, they don't. There is a Prowling Magus behind him. And he can cast sorceries, hexes, miracles. He's, not fun. He can also cast a spell that knocks you down on the ground. He loves to cast that one. And I am really shocked that he's coming over here. He usually just stands over there. I don't know what the heck he's doing. Oh my god, he's still coming. This guy is still coming. This guy, the Prowling Magus is somehow sometimes hard to hit at range because he can heal. So you have to worry about that. Jeez, this is very unusual. See, I think he's healing now. Oh, but I got him. Oh, but before he died, he managed to heal the other guy. For heaven's sake. But anyway, it is so stupid that you have to go in here and do that. And another problem with this is that you get all of the stuff for coming in this area before you come in. Remember that we got Havel's armor and all of the Witch Tree Branch, Great Lightning Spear, that kind of stuff long ago. We got that as soon as we got down to the Black Gulch. We could get that stuff. So, you can farm bonfire aesthetics from these guys if you want. So, what's really weird is that they say, okay, we're going to make this area incredibly difficult, but we're going to give you all of the items that you could possibly want from it, the loot that should be rightfully down here somewhere. We're going to give that to you before you actually go down here. And so it's like, well, why would I even go down there in the first place? What's the point? You know? It doesn't make any sense. It's like they knew that it was incredibly difficult, and they just wanted to give you all the stuff before going in there. The items, I hate to say it, really ought to be down here somewhere that we can just grab. But, you know, whatever. Now, the point of all of these areas, what you're trying to do, is to come down here into the Dark Chasm of the Abyss and light these braziers. So you have to remember to bring some flame butterflies, which you can purchase from Grandal before coming down here. And if you do that and light all three of them in all three Chasm of the Abyss areas, then you can fight the boss of these areas, the Darklurker. I always said the Dark Dweller because I was watching Pirates of Dark Water recently. So that's what you want to do. And I do believe it, I don't remember about this, but it may not even count that lighting that. If you just like homeward bone out, it may not count. You may actually have to leave the area in the prescribed way, which is a load of bullshit. There's another guy down here, but he's much closer to us, but we can still give him the old arrow cheese. I believe. Yes, we can. I think this guy has he has a dagger. So you know what that means. He has a small bit of metal. It's one of the most challenging weapons in the game. I don't know how many times I've fallen to my death in this area. You'll notice to my right there's a fog wall. We can't actually leave this area and actually complete the segment until we kill all of these guys. So they don't even let you fucking run through it, which is enraging. I can't believe that. And it makes me so fucking mad. Okay, and what you have to do is come down here over to this area and just drop down to this pit, and we'll be back where Grandal is. I don't know how you're supposed to guess that you're just supposed to jump into that pit, especially when the entire area you've been running to is full of fucking pits and is incredibly difficult. But I believe we have now ranked up in the Covenant. Yes, we did.
Young undead, the dark beset upon you runs deeper than I had imagined. Let us see just how much dark you can endure. You have seen dark that has existed from times long past. What once was a great void of darkness became but fragments. But slowly, the scattered fragments grew, absorbing all things. It is we who will be pilgrims to these sacred sites.
Goal is a hex. Because this is the Covenant of Dark, we need some hexes. Oh, we can't buy flame butterflies from Grandal. That's annoying. I guess you do have to go to, what's-her-face? Ornifex, to get them. Alright, now let's try the next area. The one under Castle Drangleic is probably the hardest, although this next one we're going to is pretty darn hard too. It's the one in the Black Gulch. And there is a pyromancer there that players of Dark Souls 1 will recognize. We actually have to fight Xanthus King Jeremiah. And we have to fight him twice. Yeah, that's how lazy the people that designed this were. We don't just fight him once. We have to fight him. We have to go through the same fight 2 times. Like what? That doesn't make any sense, does it? The same thing 2 times in a row? It's like, oh yeah, that first time wasn't enough, fight him again. Ugh. It's really obnoxious. We can nudge our way down. There we go. And we also have to light another brazier. And Xanthus King Jeremiah in this next area is... he is not quite as ridiculous looking as he was in the first game, but still pretty darn ridiculous. There we go. I don't mind going through these areas to get to the fight, but I mean, I really do mind having to fight the same guys again and again. It's ridiculous. And I will, of course, be cheesing these guys at range quite a bit as we're going in here. And I'm going to keep the Silver Cat ring on for something that we're doing in here. In this next area that kind of confused me. Being cautious is actually not good here. Being brash is actually more useful. What we're going to do is charge forward into this area here, and then immediately jump left and go down this pit, and then turn around and go down that way and left. If you go down the normal area, it actually becomes considerably harder. And there's Xanthus King Jeremiah, and he, obviously, I don't need to tell you, has pyromancies up the wazoo. Sometimes he follows me down here, sometimes he does not. There is also another fairly trollish enemy down there, which is someone wearing the turtle armor. And, by the way, that turtle armor, you cannot backstab someone who is wearing that. I should have just immediately run straight down here to try to get them to lose aggro, but I think I screwed that up now. Yeah, they're both coming. Yeah, this doesn't look like a good thing. Now this guy with the two clubs is obviously brutally difficult. There's also a prowling magus out there. So, yeah, they got you coming and going in this section. And he never loses any spells. He can just spell forever. Fucking hell. Oh, Christ. Look, I'm gonna have to put a cut in here. Okay, sorry about that. Let's continue. I could have sworn, I mean, all the other times, I haven't done this in a while, you can probably tell, but all the other times I've done that, they did not aggro at the same time. Just one of them came down here. And it was usually the fire guy, so... And Xanthus King Jeremiah was one of the most ridiculous of characters in Dark Souls 1. Because of his ridiculous armor. You can't quite tell here because, well, because he's sort of gray and you have to actually look at it, but it's a gigantic yellow cloth type thing, and he's got virtually every pyromancy known to man. He's got Flame Swathe, he's got Forbidden Sun. He never stops. There's no, you know, it's sort of like the infinite stamina thing. He can never run out of stamina. And there's another one of those guys that we have to fight, tragically. Now let us see how much of the dual-wielding turtle guy can take out. When I originally came down here, I was actually at much lower level. I was more like around a level 100, now level 146. So, you can use this shield, this rock here as kind of a shield. Hopefully we can poison his ass. Ugh, fuck, I forgot. Good, I think he might be locked into this now. He gave us a good amount of breathing room there. So maybe he's not going to come out and try to fight us. Now, when and if we actually get to the boss of this area, I also have to just express my disgust for what they did with this. Because that boss is not a bad boss by any means. In fact, there's a good case to be made that the Darklurker, the boss of this area, is actually the best boss in the entire game. Because it is challenging, it's weird, it's strangely beautiful. You see that we got... oh, we didn't get knocked down. Good. That's the knockdown one. Hopefully the poison will take care of it. And it has. Now we're going to be doing more cheesing at range in just a second. This one I think is the easiest one for not falling into pits. The other ones are pretty brutal with that. And there's another turtleman. Hopefully he will not make it up here like the other one sort of gets stuck. Is he poisoned? Yes, he is. Good. I'm just sort of firing into nothingness there. I don't really... Ugh, we get both of them now, again. Ah, good. Their aggro range is pretty low. And I'm doing quite a bit to the turtle guy because of the poison. Remember, he's wearing the turtle armor, so he cannot be backstabbed. And there's another prowling Magus down there. I don't understand how the people that made this could have thought this was good level design. I mean, having this fight in itself is awful. It's a stupid fight. There's a lot of crap going on with it. It sucks in a lot of ways. And yet, not only did they do that, which is bad enough, they decided to do it twice to make the same fight 2 times in a row. And it's like, well, why? You know, I feel like Jack Nicholson in Chinatown asking, asking Mr. Cross, you know, I mean, why? Why did you do that? It's beyond my ken. Why would you do that? What's the point? Why do you need to do this? You know, and it's... It's like, how could they have been so stupid? Something I forgot to point out in the other levels is that I think it's something very important to mention that the giants from that attack Drenlaic in the Giant Memories, we see they use pyromancy, not sorcery. Come on. Just give it up. Jesus Christ. We can actually get the Xanthus armor at the end of the game, by the way. Or not at the end of the game, at the end of the Covenant of the Abyss area, if we defeat the boss. Like, that's some great reward. Yeah. Alright, let's pop down again. Now, how to access the boss of this area is a little strange and a little tricky. Because what it is you can access the boss from any of those 3 areas that we're going to go into, any of the Chasm of the Abyss areas. You just have to defeat all of the people in them and make it to that fog wall. And then you will be able to access the boss. When you jump into the fog, instead of going back into the regular world, you go into a boss room. So, yeah, that's... And every single time you want to refight the boss, you have to go back through all of that shit that we just went through, fight all of the characters again. And you can do it at any one, so you can pick the one you have the least challenge with. But Jesus Christ. I mean, that's not okay. That's not okay to design the game like that. It's too brutal, it's too difficult, it's too irritating. There's no... And worst of all, the enemies don't even despawn. I mean, at least show a little bit of compassion there. And have the... I don't think they do, but... Really, just upset in general with the way that they handled this. This has, I would argue, the most difficult of all of the people we have to fight in it, because it actually has another person from Dark Souls 1, Havel the Rock, whose shield we're using right now. And Havel is, well, he's Havel the Rock. He's not an easy character to fight. We have to fight him on a precipitous ledge. It is possible to throw him off the ledge, but it is not that easy to do. It gets very confusing and very difficult. And we also have to fight another character, also from Dark Souls 1, another hero from Dark Souls 1, Ricard the Archer. And it's like, why? What are these guys doing down here? I mean, what is this place? What is this beautiful house? What is this beautiful... this is my beautiful wife? What's happening? Naturally, we're going to cheese everyone as much as we possibly can. And he's using the dragon tooth. He's using my shield. I guess that is Havel, as far as I can tell. Now, the next guy is right over there. It's very difficult to tell anything in the darkness, I'm sorry, but he's sort of right ahead of us, just to the left in a little tunnel. But there is also a prowling magus over here, and we don't want both of them fighting at the same time. Ricard the Archer has Ricard's Rapier, a very challenging thrusting weapon, which can easily get you to... Oh, my lord, no. I'm not worried about the damage, I'm worried about getting knocked off the cliff edge. Oh my god, fuck! Damn you, Ricard! Ugh! Now, if this were a good game, I would actually be able to just ignore some of those little thrusts there, because I am, well, I'm fairly well armored and would have enough poise that wouldn't annoy me. But tragically, this is Dark Souls... No, I'm kidding. Dark Souls 2 is a good game. I'm just getting a little salty because of that. But, this is where Ricard was, this little tunnel down here. The brazier we have to light is just past him. Oh, fucking hell. Soul Spear? Really? Look, I'm going to have to try to get close to him. I usually don't like to do that, but... because of that knock you off the edge attack he does. Just let us light the fucking torch, Or how about like at the end of the game, just like the feather, we get something that we can instantly light a torch anytime we feel like it. Don't make us go through all this bullshit. Oh, whoops, that was stupid. Alright, now there is another character that we have to fight down here, and I don't remember, I think it is a she, but I don't remember who she is or what she looks like, if she's anybody. It could just be a random character to fight. And there she is. She looks maybe at a distance like Lycia. And look, if they wanted to do all this bullcrap with these levels, alright, whatever. But Jesus H. Christ, please, show the tiniest bit of compassion. Let us just do it once and then have access to the boss, It's just inappropriate to do it the way that I was talking about. Is she dressed like a desert sorceress? It's very hard to tell. Now, this next area is also another thing that I completely disapprove of and think is outrageous and despicable beyond my ability to express it. But if you go down here, you will notice... Actually, can you see them? I heard you can see the boss in one of these areas if you look through one of those corners. Although I don't know if we could cheese them. But anyway, I'm going to talk about the Darklurker a little bit before we actually go into the boss room. The thing I was talking about, the despicable thing, they're trying to trick you into jumping down there. But that's not where you have to jump down. You have to go around and jump at this one back here. That is a troll move that is fucking ridiculous. And anybody that gets upset at people calling these guys the B team at From Software, don't. These guys are a bunch of dicks, and they deserve to be called the B team. Okay? Now this boss is a sort of strange, ghostly figure that almost looks like a weird angel of death in a way. And it has incredibly powerful sorceries and pyromancies, and the big reveal, I guess you could say, about the character is that it will split into two different halves at one point during the fight, and it will attack you, from both angles. There'll be two of them attacking you at once. Let's pop down there. I'm not going to live, and I will attempt to come back here much later on, maybe after the Ivory Crown DLC, but I just want to show you the Darklurker, because, Hello, Darklurker! It's also got a pretty cool physical attack there. It looks cool. I like the way it looks. Oop. Can also teleport. I forgot about that. I think that pyromancy is going to pop out of that. Is that how that works? Or is that a hex? Oh no, it's a sort of a hexomancy or something. I don't know what the heck was going on there. We'll try to see at what point she will... I usually say she for this creature. I don't know if that is correct. Maybe it doesn't have a... I would like to get armor that could make us look like this thing. That would be pretty cool. I think it would actually be challenging but fair, if we could... that is what I was thinking of. I think you already have to be moving in order to avoid that. Yeah, I think that's what it is. It, shoots out of the other one. Like, they put it in one teleport thing, and it shoots out of the other one or something. There we go. They split. And you see, there you go. I mean, it's incredibly difficult already, but the fact that you have to fight two of them at the same time makes it punishing. Although, if you have Great Lightning Spear and are a Faith character, it becomes pathetically easy, because you could spam those attacks, those Great Lightning Spears at her, and demolish her pretty darn quickly. Now, I'm going to call in an episode in just a second. I'm going to head back up to Majula. And I think in the next episode we are going to begin to go down to the Ivory Crown DLC, a great DLC, although, again, as with much of Dark Souls 2, fraught with many problems. But until then, now that I am out of the Chasm of Dark, I feel so much better, and I'm going to praise the sun, because I have to.